I ask all of you to pray for me. And please know that I promise to pray for you, and not just tonight, but for all the days of my life.
The Catholic Church marking a major change in leadership today at one of its most famous pulpits. Bishop Ronald Hicks, who has been leading the Diocese of Joliet, Illinois, will be formally installed this afternoon as the new Archbishop of New York at St. Patrick's Cathedral. The 58-year-old has served as the Bishop of Joliet since 2020, and he'll be taking over from Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who is retiring after more than a decade. This afternoon's installation includes centuries-old traditions. Hicks will knock on the cathedral doors, be greeted by Dolan, hear the Pope's appointment letter read aloud, and then be led to the Archbishop's chair as he assumes responsibility for more than 2 million Catholics in the Archdiocese. Hicks has signaled that he wants to focus on drawing people back to Mass after years of declining attendance and reconnecting New York's parishes with young people, immigrants, and lapsed Catholics. Joining us now, Kevin Schultz, chair of the Department of History and academic chair at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Thanks for having me on.
Glad to have you here. This is an exciting time for the faithful. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is happening at today's Mass, and why is this ceremony such a big deal in the Catholic Church?
Well, this is a big deal for Catholics in New York and across the United States. New York is one of the largest parishes or archdioceses in the United States, and probably the most prominent of the collection throughout the entire country. Hicks himself called it the Parish of America. So this is something akin to a presidential inauguration that we're going to see today, except, as you know, we inaugurate our presidents every 4 years, and this is the first time in 14 years that we've seen a change in power in the Archdiocese of New York.
So, Kevin, fair to call this the most influential post, and this is a truly historic moment.
Indeed, they used to call the Cardinal or Archbishop of New York America's Pope, but that was, of course, before we actually had a Pope from the United States. So it is a very important post, the most prominent see in the country, and what comes out of the messaging that comes out of New York resonates throughout the country, and Catholics throughout the United States will hear what Archbishop Hicks has to say, and his message will carry throughout the country.
How remarkable is it that Hicks comes from Joliet and he was appointed by people who, by Pope Leo, who is also from the Chicago area? What do we know about his background and style of priorities from his time in Illinois?
Well, I'm a professor at the University of Illinois, Chicago, here in Chicago. So Catholics around me are very excited right now. Not only is Pope Leo from Chicago, but now we've got Hicks as well, taking over as the Archbishop of New York City. He is a soft-spoken Midwestern guy who basically grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, was educated around Chicago, took a lot of his first jobs throughout Chicago. So he's really grounded in Chicago. You know, he's famously spoken of his love for the Chicago Cubs. He loves deep dish pizza. So he's really rooted in Chicago. And one of the interesting things about Chicago that I learned when I started teaching here about 18 years ago, when I teach my classes in American Catholic history, is how many diverse ethnicities come to my classes, all preaching a variety of Catholicism. Mm-hmm. And the Mexican Catholics don't fully understand what the Polish Catholics are doing, who don't fully understand what the Irish Catholics are doing. So he's going to bring to this role of a sort of deep knowledge and respect for the varieties of Catholicism that exist in the United States. And that's sort of one of the messages that he's already talked about bringing forward, trying to open the arms of the church to a wide variety of members of Catholicism who have left the church, who have either fallen away because of the increasing allures of secular society, because they've been disappointed in the Catholic Church's handling of the sex scandal and the cover-up that's gone on, or also because of its increasing politicization as people such as Cardinal Dolan, who he is replacing in New York, have gotten more and more mired into the culture wars. Dolan has sort of firmly positioned himself on the right, having appeared at Donald Trump's 2 inaugurations, being a frequent guest on Fox and Friends, the television news show that speaks to many conservative Americans. and by praising Charlie Kirk as a modern-day St. Paul. So I think what we're seeing by the appointment of Ronald Hicks in New York City is sort of a willingness to lower the temperature of the culture wars in the United States and try and invite back to the fold many Catholics who might have walked away because they saw the Catholic identity as something that was contested in American life.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.